Hello everybody, and welcome back to Reading with Grandma. Tonight I have a couple of little stories for you. The first one is How the Camel Got Its Hump, Tales from Around the World. This was by Justine and Ron Fontes and illustrated by Kiko Motoyama. Welcome, I am Sherizad, and I know 1,001 tales. Today I will tell you some camel tales, for the camel is a most amazing animal. Every part of its body is just right for life in the hot, cold, windy, and dry desert. But no part of the camel's body is more amazing than the hump. How did the camel get its hump? Listen and I will tell you. The great storyteller Aesop says the camel was created by the mighty Greek god Zeus. One day, Horse asked Zeus for a longer neck, a broader chest, and a built-in saddle. The next thing Horse knew, why, he'd become a camel. But if you think that would satisfy the camel, you do not know camels. The Chinese tell of a camel asking a creator for broad feet for walking on shifting sands, long eyelashes for keeping out wind, and a hump or two for carrying food or water. The creator granted all of this, but was the camel happy? No, because all of the other animals laughed at its funny-looking humps. It's not nice to laugh at somebody because they look different, is it? The camel asked to have its homely humps removed, but this could not be done. "How can I go on with all the other animals looking down on me?" wailed the camel. "You shall look down on them," thundered the creator. From that day on, camels have had such a haughty look that no animal ever dare laugh at them. And camels still have their hairy humps, which come in handy in the desert, as you will learn in my next tale. Long ago, there lived a bandit and his hard-working camel. Day and night they rode over the endless shifting sands. They rode in the heat of the day. They traveled through the cold of the night. They rode into whirling sandstorms. Camel's feet became flat from walking. Its eyelashes grew long from squinting. Its chest and knees grew furry from resting on the cold ground. Camel became strong from carrying heavy sacks of food, water, and coins, but never once did the bandit share his food or water with poor Camel. So Camel learned to do without, except what it could find in the dry desert. One day, Camel's broad foot bumped a magic lamp that contained a genie. As everyone knows, if you ever find a genie, it will give you 3 wishes. So the bandit snatched the lamp and asked the genie for 50 bags of wealth and 50 years of health. Before he could make his 3rd wish, Camel grunted, "I want us here. I found the lamp. I want a wish." "Very well," said the genie. "What do you command?" Camel said, "I wish to carry water. I wish the water I carried was for myself." Instantly, Camel had its hump. And the bandit had his 50 bags of wealth, but he didn't pay taxes on it, so the bandit was sent to jail, where he was always thirsty, for 50 years. But the camel is never thirsty, unless it forgets to fill his hump. But what about the most famous Camel Got Its Hump story? The one by Rudyard Kipling. That story takes place where a world was so new that there were only a few animals, including the lazy camel. During the first 3 days of the world, the other camels were very hard. Then Horse asked Camel to trot with him, but Camel said, Dog asked Camel to help him fetch and carry, but Camel said, "Hump." Ox asked Camel to help him plow, but Camel said, "Hump." The animals begged the Dijon, or the genie, of all the deserts to do something about the lazy camel. "He won't trot," said Horse. "He won't fetch," said Dog. "He won't plow," said Ox. "He just says, 'Humph.'" "I'll humph him if you kindly wait a minute," said the genie. "Alakazam!" To the camel, the genie said, "Do you see that? That is your very own humph that you brought on yourself by not working." "How can I work with a hump on my back?" the camel humphed. The genie explained, "You can work 3 times harder because you can live off your hump, and the camel still works 3 times harder because it has never caught up with the 3 days that it missed at the beginning of the world." Ships of the desert. A camel's body is perfect for its desert home. Each feature comes with the fantastic features. The amazing hump. A camel's hump is made of fat. This fat can become water inside the camel's body. A well-fed camel's hump is large and firm. A hungry camel's hump shrinks and sags. 1 hump or 2. Arabian camels have 1 hump. Bactrian camels have 2. Their ears, they have thick hairs keeping out the blowing sand. In their eyes, they have thick, long lashes to keep out the sand. Thin eyelids let in light. A camel can walk through a sandstorm with its eyes closed. The nose of the camel, the nostrils squeeze shut to keep out sand. The nose can take in moisture from the camel's breath. The knees and chest. Extra thick skin forms padding for resting on the hard ground. And his feet have wide foot pads to help him camel walk on shifting sands. Hump. Camel attitude. Camels are hard-working, helpful animals. They can also be smelly, and sometimes they spit on or bite their handlers. Camels often groan when they are being loaded or unloaded, and they are famous for being grouchy. As Rudyard Kipling knew so well, if camels could talk, they would surely say, "Hump." So let me know in the comments if you think that's how the camel's got his hump, by saying "hump" all the time and complaining. And we're going to continue storytelling tonight with The Lion King. From the smallest ant to the largest elephant, every living thing has a place in the great circle of life. Mufasa's place was king of the lions. Sarabi was the queen, and their newborn cub, Simba, would one day take his father's place as Lion King. But on this day, little Simba rested in the hands of the wise baboon Rafiki, who sprinkled the cub with dust and welcomed the future king to this great circle of life. Mufasa's brother Scar did not attend the ceremony. He was not happy that Scar was next in line to rule the Pride Lands, for Scar had always wanted to be king. Time passed, and Simba grew. Early one morning, Mufasa took him to the top of Pride Rock. "Simba, look," he said. "Everything the light touches is our kingdom." "Wow," the young lion said. Then he asked, "What about that shadowy place?" "That's beyond our borders. You must never go there, Simba," warned Mufasa. Later, Simba found Scar sunning on a rock. Simba proudly told his uncle, "Someday I'm going to run the whole kingdom. Well, everything except the shadowy place. My father said I can't go there." "He's absolutely right," Scar slyly agreed. "An elephant graveyard is no place for a young prince. Only the bravest lions go there." As Scar knew, Simba would want to prove that he was brave. So he said nothing as Simba hurried off to find his friend Nala and ask her to explore this mysterious Shadowlands with him. When the friends arrived in the Shadowlands, they discovered an eerie place filled with elephant bones and spurts of steam. "It's so creepy," whispered Nala excitedly. "Come on," said Simba, "let's check it out." Zazu, the king's minister, had been looking for the cubs. When he caught up with them, he warned, "We are too far from the Pride Lands. It is dangerous." But Simba only said, "I laugh in the face of danger. Ha ha ha!" The strange laughter belonged to the three hideous hyenas, Banzi, Shenzi, and Ed, who slinked out from an elephant skull. When Zazu told the hyenas that he was Mufasa's minister, they realized that Simba was the future king. "Here's a king fit for a meal," Banzi snickered. The hyenas chased Simba and Nala until the cubs were trapped. Suddenly a thunderous roar rattled the rocks and bones. It was the roar of Mufasa, the Lion King. The frightened hyenas ran away. That evening, Mufasa had a talk with Simba. "I was just trying to be brave like you," protested Simba. Mufasa shook his head. "Being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble," he replied. "Dad," Simba asked suddenly, "we'll always be together, right?" Mufasa gazed up at the sparkling heavens. "The great kings of the past looked down on us from those stars," he said. "Whenever you feel alone, remember those kings will always be there to guide you, and so will I." Although Scar was angry with the hyenas for letting Simba survive, he made a bargain with them. If they helped to make him king, they could have the run of Pride Lands. So Scar brought Simba into a vast gorge and promised the cub a wonderful surprise if he would just wait on a certain rock. Scar then signaled the hyenas. The surprise turned out to be a stampeding herd of wildebeests, with the hyenas urging the herd on. The earth trembled. Dust choked the air. The wildebeest ran into the gorge, heading straight for Simba. He sought safety in a tree, but the branch bent under his weight. Just before Simba fell beneath the pounding hooves, Mufasa grabbed him and carried him to the rocky ledge. Then, through the thick swirling dust, Simba saw his father disappear under the thundering herd. When the stampede had passed and the dust settled, Simba found his father lying lifeless at the foot of a cliff. What Simba did not know was that Scar had pushed his brother off the rock to his doom. "If it weren't for you, the king would still be alive," lied Scar, appearing at Simba's side. "He tried to save me," said the cub, sobbing. It was an accident." "Run away, Simba. Run away and never return," Scar advised. Scar watched as Simba ran away. Then he sent the hyenas to kill the cub. But when the hyenas reached a thorny thicket, they stopped. "He'll never survive in the desert," and they reasoned, so they returned to Pride Rocks and their new king, Scar. Scar told the Pride that there had been a horrible accident, and then he introduced the hyenas. Under the burning desert sun, Simba surely would have died if it had not been for two curious creatures, Timon the meerkat and Pumbaa the fat, friendly warthog. Timon and Pumbaa felt sorry for the helpless cub. They took him to their jungle home and taught him how to live by Timon's philosophy, Hakuna Matata, which meant no worries. They also taught the cub to eat all kinds of insects. Simba tried to put the past behind him, but on one clear night the stars reminded him of the old king and his father Mufasa. Then one day a lioness chased Pumbaa. Simba rushed to protect his friend, but the lioness flipped him on his back the way Nala used to. "Nala?" he cried. "Simba?" the lioness said. "I thought you were dead." The friends embraced. Then Nala told Simba the sad story of the Pride Lands. Under cruel King Scar, the land was barren and the animals were starving. Hyenas were everywhere, but Simba refused to return and take place as the Lion King. In his heart, he felt he was not worthy. That night, wise old Rafiki found Simba alone. "Who are you?" Simba asked. "The question is, who are you?" asked Rafiki. "I'm not sure anymore," Simba confessed. "You are Mufasa's boy," the baboon declared. He led Simba to a small pool. As Simba stared, he saw his father's face in the water. Then he heard his father's voice. "Simba, look inside yourself," Mufasa commanded. You are my son and the one true king. You must take your place in the circle of life." So Simba set out for the Pride Lands to confront the false king. Later his friends Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa joined him. As Simba approached Pride Rock alone, Scar saw what he thought was a vision. Mufasa? Hadn't he killed the Lion King himself? Was this a ghost? No, it was Simba. "I'm surprised to see you alive," sneered Scar. "I've come back to take my place as king," declared Simba. "Step down, Scar." With an angry snarl, Scar forced Simba onto the edge of the cliff. As Simba struggled to hold on, Scar leaned down and whispered, "Here's my little secret, Simba. You didn't kill your father. I did." Now Simba knew the truth. All this time he had been innocent. Simba's heart filled with rage, and the strength of 10 lions surged through him. He struggled up onto the rock, leaped up on Scar, and the battle began. Nala bravely led the lionesses against the hyenas. Even Timon and Pumbaa joined the fray. The battle raged until all of the hyenas ran from Pride Rock. Simba chased Scar to the top of Pride Rock and cornered him. Scar whimpered, "No, please, have pity on me." "Run away, Scar," said Simba. "Run away and never return." But when Simba turned his back, Scar attacked. Quick as lightning that flashed above, Simba used Nala's trick flip to send Scar flying over the cliff to the angry hyenas below. So Scar's evil reign ended, and Simba took his rightful place as Lion King. In time, King Simba and Queen Nala had a cub of their own. From the smallest ant to the largest elephant, the beasts came from far and near to Pride Rock. There the son of Simba rested in the hands of the wise baboon Rafiki, who sprinkled the cub with dust and welcomed the future king into the great circle of life which never ends. And that's our stories for tonight, The Lion King and How the Camel Got Its Hump. Let me know in the comments what you think of these 2 books. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and ring the bell so you know when I'm reading again. Everybody have a really great day. Stay safe. We'll read some more later. Bye.